What is going on, guys? It's Kevin here with ModMyMods, and it is another lovely Tuesday afternoon. So you know what that means. It's time for the ModMyMods news update. So thanks everybody for being here this afternoon. Today we are going to take a quick little journey from Rochester over to the good old Niagara Falls area and see if we can do a little loop around the horseshoe and come on back rather quickly. Along the way, we will talk about some things that I found on the internet, some terrible Black Friday deals that didn't really happen, and we'll chit-chat along the way and see what happens, right? How's that sound? Hopefully you guys are having a relatively decent Tuesday afternoon. We are doing pretty good here, and hopefully we will have a good flight on over there. So without further ado, let's get right on into the cockpit here and see what we're doing. Today, I figured we'd get there a little bit faster than typically we would. Yeah, I mean, I know you guys are relatively familiar with me flying the A320N, A320neo. Today, we're going to take the CJ4, the Citation CJ4. I think, yeah, it's a CJ4 is what it is. I thought it was a 5, but it's a 4. Basically, it's a private jet created by Cessna, and theoretically, this thing can actually go a heck of a lot faster. And go through the clouds and stuff like that. Faster than we typically would with the 320. But without further ado, let's get on in here and let's get it all started up. Again, I still haven't figured out how to move the actual character up and down, which would be great because I don't like midgets flying my plane, but that's beside the point. And today we're not going to use any ATC. We're just going to fly by the seat of our pants. Ha! Mr. Kevin James Daly, thank you for being here. Your airbrushing radiators in the kitchen. No better place to do it than in the kitchen. Right? So let's go ahead and do the startup sequence. First, we've got to turn on the master battery and then turn on the avionics. That will turn on all of the computers that are here. We're going to turn on the fuel boosters to manual, so that is actually running the fuel into the generators. That is on. That is inoperative. Okay, typically... Now all you have to do is turn on the engine starters for those two. You check that the N2 percentage is actually going up, which it is. Okay, fantastic. Yes, system test is okay. Now you get an awesome little audible test here that tells you everything's fine. You're going to open up these, turn on the engines to run, and then close them down. Maven, thank you for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. And let's get this bird up in the air. Again, it's a relatively quicker startup process. I'm going to turn on all the lights here. I don't need any of that. I'm going to turn up the panel so I can see a little bit here. I am going to turn on all the anti-ice stuff because, well, I know that it is a relatively cold day out today. It is actually about 34, 36 degrees here, and that's in Fahrenheit, which is technically like 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. But now that these engines are starting to spool up, we seem like we're in a pretty good shape here to get ready to taxi on over. We're going to take runway 28 and just get the hell out of here because, well, we're going to Niagara Falls. It's not that far. So, Hans, thanks for being here, my friend. Appreciate it. And yes, I couldn't agree more. I think that the kitchen is quite possibly the best place that you could mod any PC. Okay, seems like we're in pretty good shape. Let's take a look at the outside of the plane. Yep, looks like we have the lights on. Our taxi lights, our runway lights. Okay, looks like we're good. Not Nancy. Captain, thanks for being here. Niagara Falls is a short hop from where I was born in North Tonawanda. Hell, you're only like 60 minutes, not even 45 minutes down the 90, depending on how fast you drive. More like 35 for me because I drive like bat out of hell. But that's beside the point. All right, let's spool these babies up and let's get the heck up out of here. We're going to disengage the parking brake and slowly start taxiing. It does seem like... What happened here? It doesn't seem like my... Uh-oh. Yeah, it doesn't seem like my, interesting. Oh, because it's cranked? Oh, okay, that's working. All right, there we go. Yeah, my rudder here, which also drives the front wheels to turn, was not turning. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't... Oh, because... Why is there... What? No pushback is required, thank you, sir. I don't... Anybody else see that? That's pretty funny. Thanks, guy. I appreciate it, but you can go ahead and get the hell out of here now. That'd be wonderful. That'd be great. Jeez Louise. Buffalo International Airport. I know that tower. Absolutely. We're, if you guys... Depends on how long you were a resident of Buffalo. Maybe you remember the Flying Tigers restaurant? There was a restaurant at the end of one of the runways. I think it was runway... Well, if you're coming in from this way, it'd probably be runway 17 or 18. I don't remember what the runways are in Buffalo there. But yeah, there was actually a restaurant that you could sit at, and you could watch the planes come in and land, which was kind of cool. And back in the day, they actually had, because it was like a World War II, I think, era restaurant, because the Flying Tigers was a squadron that was based out of Buffalo there. They actually had phones on the at each table, and you could pick up the phone. You can actually listen to the tower and listen to the conversations that were happening as the planes were coming in to land. And to be honest with you, that was a huge impact on me as a kid growing up, and how I now a giant aviation nerd. So, that being said, all right, let's see who we got here. Teffin, thank you, sir. Oh, thanks for being here, man. Great up north. I appreciate it. Theodore, appreciate you being here. Hans, doing quite well. Getting late here. Have to be up in 2 hours until the one. Oh boy. Yes, the whole feed, sleep, repeat process of having a little one. We are working on having a little one of our own as well, so I will soon be in that same boat, or maybe on the same plane. Yeah, that was a terrible aviation joke. I'm sorry. That's really bad. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's line up here on runway 28. We are going to be headed to the west, headed straight to Buffalo. We're going to just try and get the heck up out of here just before we take off here. I want to make sure I have the anti-ice on. I do. Okay, I have all the anti-ice on. The flaps are at 15. All right, full send. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh, Calf PCs, thanks for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. And Travis, as always, you are always more than welcome. Oh, V1, rotate, and V2. Okay, we're out. See ya. Yeah, see this plane? There's not a whole heck of a lot to it, so it's just like, yep, okay, we're now going to throw it into the air. So, Calf PCs, again, thanks for being here. So, hopefully we're trying, we're working on it and everything like that. We're hoping that something will happen in the next couple months or so. We'll see. We'll see. Is that how it works, Mr. James Daly? I don't know. Maybe you probably are more proficient than I am. I don't know. Who knows? Overspeed. Yeah. I know. I got it. All right. So we're going to pop out the plane here and take a look, see what we're flying with. It looks like it's not terrible out. However, we're going to do the hard 20-degree climb here. Full send on the engines here, 100%, and because we don't have any passengers, which if you do, I think it's control and look behind. Yeah, there's nobody on this plane. I think they're a little too scared to get on. Yeah, we're just going to go straight up into the air here, up until about 10,000 feet. Hopefully we'll be able to clear some of the clouds, which would be nice, but the prep work is also an enjoyable process. Yes, it is. You know, the waiting period, you know, where you have to like wait a couple days and then have the magic happen is kind of sometimes a bummer. However, It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, but thanks everybody for being here this afternoon. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you guys are in the United States, if you guys aren't in the United States, well, that sucks. You guys missed out. You apparently missed the boat when we all left, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure you get to, celebrate on different holidays and stuff like that. Oh, what is that? Yeah. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I just didn't like that I was, blasting up here. That's fine. It's okay. I was really hoping I'd get above these clouds, though. It's not looking so good, though, is it? Not looking so good. All right, so maybe we'll get up to like 15,000 feet and we'll be above the clouds. I think 15,000 is where we're gonna level our off here and see what happens. Yes. Yeah, see, unfortunately, I want to hit all of the different platforms, Taffin. That's actually why I do the restream thing, because not everybody has, Twitch or wants to be on Twitch, and I understand that. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really want to be a Twitch affiliate, because that seems like a lot of work. So, that's pretty much what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so now we are headed in kind of the right direction here. Oh, hey, look, there's the sky. Okay, let's go up a little bit more. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, yeah, there we go. About 16,000 is where we're going to set our cruise altitude, which is unbelievably high, especially when you're going to go straight to Buffalo. Like, there's no real reason that you'd want to be there. Okay, turn on autopilot, turn on the altitude hold. Autopilot on, please. Thank you. There we go. Okay, cool. And we will adjust the heading for not that direction. No, I was just kidding. Come on back. Let's go that heading. Oh, no, wait, that's too far. There we go. All right, cool. And we'll zoom out. This way? Is it this way? I don't remember. There it is. Okay, now we're getting somewhat close to now what we're talking about. Bam. Okay, so as you can see down there in the little tiny map, we will be headed to the Rainbow Bridge and to Niagara Falls. We're going to do a nice little loop and then hopefully come back to land on runway. What would that be? That would be runway 10. So, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, it's calf. It's like I'm part of one conversation, but not going on the same time. Yeah, I know. I understand. But again, I do Twitch because the chat is, yes, it is very broken on YouTube. The chat on Facebook is usually pretty delayed as well. However, we want to make sure that we hit everybody because not everyone can do the Twitch thing at the same time. Calf PCs. It's okay. I'm everywhere. Well, hey, we appreciate you being everywhere, And if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this anyways. So, all right. So we're not too far away. I'm going to slow down just a little bit here. I'm going to pull up the Chrome little browser here so we can take a look at some of the things that I found while I was going through the internets. I guess, yeah, you know what? We'll work backwards. I guess we'll start with this. Our buddy Dan here actually messaged me on the weekend and said, oh my God, I had something happen. This happened, and oh my God, this was awful. And yes, it was indeed awful. Sometimes our biggest issues are ourselves, and he was noble enough to admit his faults and that he had messed something up, and water came out of this reservoir shooting like, well, insert water spraying all over the place, little context here. And water went everywhere. And unfortunately, he was unable to diagnose everything that was actually going on inside the PC to figure out what was actually broken and not. So he was nice enough to call, and funny enough, he's actually a Rochester native, which is fantastic, and he brought the PC to us today at the shop. So we are going to go through and make sure that everything is working in the way that it should be. He's pretty sure that motherboard is bunk and roasted. I don't doubt it, to be honest with you. 90% of the time, you get water everywhere and the PC just shuts off like that, you probably fried something. Typically. It might not necessarily mean that you fried everything. Typically, you're not going to fry a CPU when you're water cooling and stuff like that. You're going to short the motherboard, most likely. Yeah, all right, fine. You might short a graphics card if it leaks on the actual motherboard or something like that. I honestly haven't blown a RAM stick myself. I've definitely fried many a motherboards. That happens. That definitely happens, especially when you get water sprayed on it like it's a wet t-shirt contest. Not exactly an ideal thing. So we're going to go ahead and fix this. And actually what ended up happening is that this is a rotary fitting down here at the bottom. It's a 90-degree fitting. And what ended up happening is it just like continued to like slowly loosen. I don't know if that makes sense, but it slowly started to loosen, and it basically just went and sprayed everywhere. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and fix that up for him. Make it all nice, and make it all pretty. So I have mostly everything torn apart. We're going to clean it all out for him, test everything. He's got a new motherboard there already for us, so I'm going to swap out the thermal pad and the thermal paste on the monoblock there, swap it over, see what we get, make sure, nothing else is fried as well. So, that sucks. That's not always fun. Water cooling isn't always fun. Right, Hans? You know. Pretty much anybody knows. Like Brian. BPS Customs. He knows. Yeah. That sucks. That shit sucks so bad right there. Luckily, nothing really exploded and nothing blew up. Which is nice. I think he fried an SSD, which, okay, that happens. However, this happens. Oh, I think I see the culprit right there. See this guy right here? It says something chill, and it says VOO or something on it. Yeah, that might have been what his problem was. But hey, I don't know. Who knows? That's not me. It looks like white coolant to me. But that's beside the point. Usually it's not the coolant. Usually it's something that you did or that something failed. That happens, right? We all have faults, including myself. Nobody's perfect. And everybody learns from water cooling. I'll tell you that much. My first water-cooled PC looked like balls. My second one didn't look as much like balls, but it still kind of didn't look great. My third one, I kind of started to figure it out. Still looked like balls, though. Now I'm on like 10 or 12, and I think I kind of got it figured out. But again, it's always a learning process. Always a learning process. Cyberpunk is now teasing us about how it's 9 days to go until they release or until they delay it again. Yeah, I'm looking at you, CD Projekt Red. I'll believe it when I frickin' see it. I don't believe it right now, but we'll see. Nvidia also said, oh yeah, hey, 3060 Ti coming. Yeah, right, when? Oh, tomorrow. Oh, so you're going to launch a card tomorrow? Right. And this right here pretty much sums it all up. Finally, I can get my hands on a graphics card. And the bops and the scalpers say absolutely not. And so I don't think anyone has seen this, but a lot of the quotes and the tweets and the replies to this are freaking gold. You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than beating the Scriper bots. I don't doubt it, man. So good luck to you, Nvidia. Hope the launch goes well. I can't imagine it will go very well. This I had pulled up for something. I don't remember what I was looking at. Something probably about the MacBook Air chip is still $100 off. Oh yeah, it was the Christmas buying guide. And so the only thing that I ended up finding that was relatively cool was these cable holders. They're called cable guys, and it's basically your, typical run-of-the-mill characters from your favorite video games that actually will hold things. So they'll hold your graphics, your blown graphics card that you just destroyed. Yeah, it'll hold that for you. It probably won't hold a motherboard because it's a little light for that. However, it will hold your controllers and stuff like that too. Pretty cool. I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat. I'd probably get the Sonic one or the Claptrap. I don't know. We'll see. And then the other thing that I did see posted by our lovely friend Jason, Mr. Proctor himself, Mr. Orseman, I definitely think the extreme version of the 3090, the Waterforce version, looks dope. However, why the hell are you still putting this leak detection crap on there? Everyone knows leak detection is garbage, and it just needs to go away. Sorry. You know what you do with the water force motherboard? You go in there, you find the cable that it is, and you snip it. Because then no more water detection errors. Because it's pointless. But still think that that's a really, really sexy card. Think it's going to look really, really cool. I don't know. Let's see, Hans. I've been in multiple discussions this week with people who think PETG won't shit itself until it hits 85, which is one of my major pet peeves. That is a urban myth, a legend. I would agree with you, Hans. That PETG, meh. You know, I agree. I'm not really a fan either. Not really a fan. But it does look like we are getting relatively close to our... we are very close to our destination. So let's get on down here and we'll take a look. I'm going to go through the chat here and then we'll swing around the good old Niagara Falls. Did anyone score? Let's see. When I make things for myself, I make them to work, not to look good. Hey, I understand that too. You know, functionality over fashionality. I don't even think that's a word, but you get what I'm going at here. Functionality over how pretty it is. I get that. Totally do. Shellback snagged a hoodie. That was about it. Yeah, a lot of the Black Friday deals pretty much sucked. As I was saying last show, a lot of the manufacturers, especially the electronics manufacturers, already know that people are going to buy the stuff regardless of what the price actually is. Which is extremely frustrating and upsetting. However, you know, it is what it is, right? I mean, some of us will pay a lot of money for things that we can't have, but some people won't. Let's see. Mainly got games for the kids. Early Xmas. Okay, yep. All right, Xmas, Crifts. Yes, I did get some Christmas gifts for the kiddos. I thought that was good. The controller holders, please. Yes, Ryan, give me a couple minutes here. Once we fly around Niagara Falls and start heading back, I will definitely link those to you. It was actually found on eTechnics, which the guys at eTechnics are awesome. They know what they're doing, and he would definitely be able to show you that. Yeah, all right, fine. I'll turn on the brakes for you so that we're not over speeding. Whatever. Give me that. I forget. I'm flying a little tiny baby plane, so like you can't. I don't know. Can't stress it and fly it around. Why is leak detection pointless? Does it just not work as intended? Yes. Okay. So anyone that had one of the 390 water force motherboards knows that the leak detection would pretty much just activate whenever the hell it felt like, even when it wasn't leaking at all in any way, shape, or form. It was just like, no, we're not gonna. We think that there's a leak here, so here we're not even gonna let you boot. You're just gonna sit and buy us because, well, there's a leak, so you should shut off now. And it was like, well, what the hell? Why are you? No, there's no leak. I know there's no leak. So a lot of the motherboards right off the bat would have issues, like errors and issues and all sorts of crap. So what we ended up doing is, I think it was the green wire or the red wire. I don't remember, but basically what ended up happening is that Envious Mods, Kalen and I, and Brony actually were the ones to figure out that if you just snip it, there it goes. Done. It's over. That's it. There was no more detection, because if you can't notice something's leaking, then I don't know if you really should be water cooling, because 90% of the time when we do any water-cooled builds, what ends up happening is that we pressure test it, which is the first thing. But secondly, what we end up doing is we want to make sure that there's no leaks or anything like that. So we run the water cooling just by itself without any sort of power to the hardware or anything like that and test it. Because then if it leaks, whatever, who cares? You know, there wasn't anything on, so it's not like it's going to short or anything like that. But if you have everything on, which is a common misconception, you know, once you put it together, you're like, oh, sweet, get to turn it on. You turn it on, the water sprays everywhere. Well, it's not always the greatest thing in the world. So, are those pressure release fittings worth putting into a loop? Debatable. some people think that the pressure release fittings are helpful and stuff like that. I'm not necessarily a fan, just because if you do tilt the PC around, to get the water bubbles out of them and stuff like that, they can leak out the top of the pressure fitting. And because it is a membrane, it is going to eventually slowly start to lose its pressure capabilities. It's not going to hold the actual amount, because it's a membrane, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be constantly either flexing or opening or closing in order to allow some of the air out. So typically what we end up doing is, once you get the system actually running, and you don't have a lot of back pressure going, ideally you want to be able to uncork one of the fittings, or not the fittings, one of the stop plugs on top of the reservoir. That way you're allowed to basically, vent a lot of the air and a lot of the extra water out of it. I mean, I saw that asked in a group, you will need a pressure fitting if you use Coke as coolant and frequently drop Mentos into your loop. Yes, you don't necessarily always need one of those, that's for sure. So if it passes the first pressure and leak test, it shouldn't fail in the future. Theoretically, yes. If you're cranking around and moving stuff and, really, moving the fittings and stuff like that while you're playing around with your PC and it's still running and stuff like that, I highly suggest you test it a few more times, because that's not always going to be the way that it is, We do typically run a pressure test for about anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. Typically it's 12 hours. We set it one night, set it and forget it, and then go home for the evening, and then come back in the morning. And if it's dropped in any way, shape, or form, we kind of call it quits right then and there and go, okay, yeah, we can't really. We need to do something else. Okay, so let's slow it right on down here, because it looks like we're coming right over the crest of the Niagara Falls here. And the reason that I wanted to fly over this is because they actually made some changes, so it does look pretty cool now. That's Niagara Falls. Wow, that's not bad. I think what we do is we go over it again, and we'll go a little bit lower. That's the Rainbow Bridge there, if you guys didn't know that. That is the Rainbow Bridge. And then down here, let's get back to the, come on, reset. There we go. Over here should be the Lewiston Bridge. Over there, yeah, right there. There's the Lewiston Bridge. And that's the way that you want to go if you're going into Canada, because the Rainbow Bridge takes freaking forever to cross any time of the year. So, let's see. So Hans says, actually, let's go with Tefin. Yes, I heat up the system to usual gaming time for over an hour or so, release the reservoir cap while the fluid is expanded, then seal the cap down tight. Yeah, typically that's what we end up doing too. Get it up to temperature, tighten everything, make sure everything's good. And I mean, because the loop is, yes, exactly what Hans is saying here. The loop is going to have negative pressure. It's always going to have that. So air pressure testers are definitely a great investment. Yeah, not so great for visibility today. Yeah, it's snowing in Rochester, so that's why I think we're going to have to go a little bit lower. And we're going to whip around here and see what we can get for a view as we go around, because I think, yeah, it's right over there. Which, again, that's a nice 45-degree turn there at least. Everybody's losing their lunch on this flight. Okay. Slow it down real nice. Get down a little bit lower on the altitudes. Oh, yeah, 2,000? Sure, sounds good. There it is. Don't crash into the tower. That doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad at all. Not too bad. Alright. Do her one more flyby, and then I guess we'll turn around and start heading back to Rochester here. I have the EK one from AlphaCool, and one that I made. They all work pretty well, but I prefer good old-fashioned overnight runs to tell me I know before calling it good. I would agree. Again, we typically do a 12-hour pressure test, and then we run it for a while to just make sure that it's all good and gravy before we actually call it and say that it's good to go. So, all right, let's see where we at here. Did I not go far enough? Yeah, there we go. There's the tower. All right, let's get nice and low. Let's get nice and low for this pass here. Yeah. Give you a nice look as we go past it here. That is the good old Niagara Falls as we go past. Pretty neat. Did you know that there was a guy, and that is actually the Rainbow Bridge, and that is the casino that you want to go to. Did you know that a guy actually survived going over the falls in a barrel? Couldn't believe it. Yeah, he actually made it. There's a lot of people that didn't make it. Their bodies are probably still underneath there and under the falls, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gotta try again, right? So that looks like, to me, that looks like Buffalo International Airport right there, which I think that's exactly what that is. It also could be... No, that's definitely Buffalo International Airport. That is for sure what that is. Or it could be in Niagara, but I'm pretty sure it's Buffalo International because... I'm pretty sure the runway... Yeah, that's definitely it. Because what we just passed underneath us is actually... If I remember this correctly... Yeah, overspeed, whatever. No, that's got to be Niagara International. That can't be Buffalo. Because Buffalo, the one runway actually runs... That's actually why I'm trying to stay lower than the clouds here. The one runway actually goes right over the... Right behind... Oh, no, that is. Yeah. Is it? I don't know. I should look on the map sometime, but... yeah, the one runway that you have there... is actually when you come into land in Buffalo there, it actually you come right over the top of I-90, which is kind of cool. I-90 is the main stretch that runs east to west in New York, all the way from Niagara Falls, Buffalo, all the way to New York City. So pretty cool, pretty neat little stuff. Don't stop. I'm just flying low to the ground. I don't need landing gear. I just want to see. So, let's see. Yes, you do need to head east one day. East is pretty cool, especially if you go to, the prettier parts of New York. I mean, the city is cool to see at least once, maybe twice, and that's about it. Unless you like big cities, then sure, have at it. But to be honest, yeah, meh, whatever. Not really a fan. Northeastern Canada is actually a beautiful place to go visit. The Adirondacks is a beautiful place in New York to visit as well. The Hoover Dam is actually pretty dope. I've been there twice, which is pretty cool. But it's definitely a sight to see, that's for sure. Shellback. The only places I've been are Russia, Antarctica, Africa, and South America. Well, I mean... Depends on if you were actually traveling or if you're there for work. Because if you're talking military status, I don't know if that's necessarily always fun to be visiting those places. It might be, though. I don't know. Maybe you guys got some leave. You got to go and explore and stuff like that. That's very possible, too. Let's see. I've been to Taiwan for the show. I've been to Germany a few times. Netherlands, Canada. I haven't been to Mexico yet, which I'm okay with. I've been all over the United States, which is fun. And I've been all over Canada, too, which is pretty cool. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You were in the Navy. I always thought you were in the Army for some reason, which is incorrect. You're in the Navy, which is... Yeah, the Navy will take you a lot of different places. That's for damn sure. That's for sure. I'd like to go during the holidays at some point. I'm sure the fault... of movies, but Christmas in New York seems pretty dope. I mean, Christmas in New York is pretty cool, not gonna lie. But to be perfectly honest with you, Christmas in Disney is way better. way better. I mean, they have the parade, and every building in Magic Kingdom is covered in lights, which is dope. They have Tinkerbell fly from the freaking top of Cinderella's castle all the way down to the middle of the main street in the main Magic Kingdom, and she greets Mickey and stuff like that. Is the freaking coolest thing ever. But New York City during the Christmas time is actually really cool. I've actually been able to go skate around. I think it's Rockefeller Center, right, with the tree and everything like that, which is pretty cool. It's very, I don't know, it's New York, you know, so there's a shitload of people everywhere, which is fine if you like people, but I don't necessarily always like people, especially that many. I don't know, whatever. To be perfectly honest with you, what's just as much fun, if not more fun, is going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh also has a tree that's actually in one PPG Place, which is actually a glass castle that was created by Frank Lloyd Wright, I'm pretty sure. He's a very famous architect, and Frank Lloyd Wright, I think? Pretty sure that's his name. But he created the architecture of that castle, and it's freaking really cool. But they also have a skating rink that goes all the way around the tree and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Talking to a huge Disneyland fan. I lived in North Hollywood for 9 months and went to Disneyland 1 to 3 times a week. Oh, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Yeah, no, I honestly haven't been out to California to go to Disneyland. I've been to Disney World many a times. We were actually supposed to go this year, but because of the whole crap virus thing that's going on here, we didn't get a chance to do that. However, you know, it is what it is, right? You know, sometimes it's for the better, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how it could be for the better, but it might be. But yeah, we're excited. We're excited to go back. We're not going to be able to make it again this year because, well, again, of the crap virus, which is not really helping anybody or anything anymore. And actually just putting a damper on pretty much anything that happens this year. I mean, 2020 kind of sucked. Not only did we lose a lot of good people, the whole, you know, pandemic thing kind of sucks, and it has put a real chokehold on a lot of the electronic manufacturers, as well as pretty much everyone when it comes to anything. So I'd love to go to Disney World someday, but the weather has to be right. I'm in Southern Oregon now, and there isn't much humidity. Florida is hot and humid. Yeah. All right, so we went in March, which wasn't too bad. And we went when there wasn't like a school break or anything like that. So it was like 75. It was kind of humid, but it wasn't too bad. Now, I'm a big guy. I mean, they don't call me Big Kevin for no reason. And I sweat unbelievably amount because, I mean, I'm furry like a bear too. So it's kind of, you know, the fur doesn't keep me cool in the summer. It keeps me warm in the winter. So, you know, definitely, you know, February or March is pretty good because then it's like mid 70s. It's not like scorching hot. It's not a billion degrees, you know, and they don't have like the humidity warnings and stuff like that, which they do. Excuse me. Blah. Little, leftover food down the wrong tube there. The one cool thing about Disney down there in Florida, though, is they do an incredible job of keeping you cool, because they have these cooling stations that are honestly like giant-ass fans that have sprayers in them, which is pretty cool. And the sprayers, obviously, are just a nice, refreshing way to cool down a little bit here and allow you to enjoy what you're actually doing, you know? So, we're getting pretty close here. We're about 22 nautical miles away. That's what NM stands for, is nautical miles away from Rochester, Greater Rochester International Airport. I don't actually see the runway just yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close there. Mr. Citizen, Pluck Citizen, just joined. Any news on the incoming 6800 or 6800 XT blocks? Yes. Have you ever heard that song? No, 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 no. Unfortunately, I don't have any more news right now because everyone is backlogged on everything when it comes to any of the water blocks, anything pretty much. Watercool just announced that they were going to be taking pre-orders for the 3080 and 3090 series for the EVGA FTW3. Yeah, that's pre-order. We have our order in. They should be coming. When? No, 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 no. I have no freaking clue. I wish I knew, you know, and it's freaking aggravating as shit not knowing when we're actually supposed to get product in, because it's annoying. You know, people just like yourself, I'm sure, have either a 6800 XT or 6800 or even a 3070, 3080, 3090, whatever, and everybody's waiting. Everybody wants one. Nobody can get it. And that's annoying as hell, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. Yo, hey, man, hats off to you. If you actually ended up getting a 6800 or 6800 XT, I am extremely jealous, first of all. Congratulations, second of all. And third of all, yeah, you gonna be waiting, dog. Sorry. You're gonna be waiting for that stupid block. Hey, there's the runway lights. I see it. About 14 nautical miles away. God, that is terrible visibility. Can't see anything. It is actually snowing here in Rochester today a little bit. I'm kind of jealous. Daz up in Canada there does have some snow. We don't. Not yet. So, eventually. So, let's see. Are you sure about that, Hans? What do you think? What do you think I'm not? Some of us have certain perks. Yeah. Okay, sure. What, are you trying to tell me that Corsair is going to have a block for it before anybody else and it's going to be available so people can actually buy it? Is that what you're trying to say? You trying to hint that they're going to have blocks? Are they going to have flow meters that make all sorts of noise in them too? Or did they do away with that? Because, you know, I'm just kidding, Hans. I think those blocks looked really, really cool, especially when you powder coat them and make them look like a really pretty color. So, however, the block for the 30 series, so the 6800, that was already scrapped. Yeah, goddamn right it was scrapped, because it's like, I mean, it was a good idea. It looked cool, but then, you know, it looked cool. You want a white powder coated one. Huh, you know, that's funny. I've seen one somewhere, and I think somebody did that once. I don't know who it was. I have no idea. I can't think of it. But yeah, somebody did that. And I'm sure I could probably get you in contact with them too, if that's what you were really looking for. I mean, I don't think it was really a whole heck of a lot of money to do it, you know, just saying. So, you want one, you let me know. Some baboon did it, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it was probably me. It's very, very, very possible. Very possible. Well, see, this is the fun part about it, guys. If you didn't know, Hans is a pretty awesome person. He does work for Corsair. We like to go back and forth quite a bit, and anybody that's in this industry that has any sort of good sense of humor does enjoy going back and forth. That's the whole part of it. You know, we get to pick on each other a little bit. We get to talk about the pros and the cons of the things that we have created, the things that we've done, you know, all of that. So it's fun. It's a good time. All right. Well, looks like we're coming in. Runway 10. I'm going to pull back on the throttle here. I'm going to hit flaps 1. And we're going to slowly coast it on in here and see if we can slow her right down. But again, there's a midget piloting this frickin' plane here, so I can't exactly see where the heck we are. We are way too high, so that's why I'm going to pop outside the aircraft. Oh, Hans, that There is no better way of saying it other than that. Yes, that is exactly it. A lot of people think that different companies really don't like each other, and when in fact what ends up happening is that we all pretty much just make fun of each other all the time. And that is absolutely the truth. We definitely make fun of each other constantly. And it's hilarious, too, because, you know, we always pick on each other about everything. So it's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. And competition is always good to have. You know, if you have competition, it can always be friendly. You know, friendly competition is the best competition that you can have. And if one company dominates the entire field, then there's no point in doing this, right? So, but what are you gonna do, right? Again, Hans, I appreciate you joining today. You know, I mean, you've been joining us the past couple of shows, and you know, without you guys at Corsair and the support you guys give us, and honestly, just being here and joining us, that's awesome. So, thank you for taking the time to do that for us today, and the past couple days. I appreciate it, and hopefully, everything with the little one is going well. You know, I wish the best for you and the little one and the missus there. Yes, I am glad that Corsair went with Hardware Labs for their radiators as well. They could have not done that, but they did at least make the right choice when it comes to that. So that, you know, that's awesome. It really is. Oh, Mr. Daly, don't talk about legs up. Gives them a leg up on everyone else. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, today was a good day. I only got puked on 4 times. Hey, man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. No poops or pees, and none in the mouth. See, you know what? I consider the small victories, my friend, the small ones. I'm so sorry. That's rough. That is rough. All right, so we have now made it to Rochester. Wow, that sun looks awfully weird. We have made it to Greater Rochester International Airport. I am going to taxi this beast right on in over to where I was parked earlier, which is over here, gate number 10. I've trained him to shit in the morning when the wifey has them. See, now that's good training. That's proper. That's proper right there. You know, you want to make sure that all of the really difficult stuff is given to the lady because, well, they're a heck of a lot more trained to take care of them than we are. That's for sure. We're, you know, what was the word? Baboons, right? Yeah, okay. So, you know, we can do things. Taking care of kids, yeah, we can do that too. Just not as efficiently. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, excuse me, sir. You're going to need to move your van. I need to park here. Is there a horn in a plane? Excuse me, sir. Sir, you're going to have to move. All right, well, we'll just park it through here. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. Oh, okay, sure. You move after the fact. Okay, cool. Great. Fantastic. All right, shush. Oh, did I hit the button? Didn't mean that. Okay, so now we can turn off the anti-ice. Now that we're out of here, we can turn off the wings. We can turn off the lights. Turn off the light. Turn off. Okay, turn those to stop. Turn off those. And turn off that. Yes, I know the oil pressure is off. And then we can turn the master battery off. Turn the avionics off. And that should do it. Yeah, boom, look at that. All right, so our total flight time today was 36 minutes and 30... So, wow, that's cool. 36 minutes, 37 seconds. We flew from Rochester to, well, Rochester. Kind of funny, right? We got to fly around the Niagara Falls area there, which is kind of cool. Pretty decent to be able to do that, but yeah, pretty decent flight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that a little bit here. Yeah, I've been flying a little bit, 52 hours and 58 minutes, so almost 53 hours of total flight time, which is actually me sitting here with the controller and everything like that too. So besides the P brakes, you know, I figure that my co-pilot that I don't have, you know, could take over the flight controls with the autopilot on and stuff like that. So, all right, the old 122. Speaking of radiators, do you know of any slim radiators that I can put inside my case panel where there is inside my case panel? Inside my case panel, where there has a 4 2x2 120 millimeter fans at the moment for tiny extra cooling. Men were created to create children. We weren't given the mental strength to deal with them efficiently. Yes, that is exactly the correct statement there, Mr. Kevin James Daly. So 240 by 240. So what you're looking for, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're going to go 240, and then you also have, so basically 240 millimeter radiator, and then another 240 millimeter radiator on top of that. Is that correct? Is that what I'm understanding here? Is that what you're getting at? Because to be perfectly honest with you, if that is what you're talking about, then Mr. Calf PCs was exactly right there. There is... The hell is it called, though? It's a 480, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so there is the Phobia... Phobia Extreme. Phobia Extreme Quad 480 560 full copper radiator. Apparently, they don't have any of these in stock. But yes, theoretically, that is kind of what you're looking at. They're basically... It's like a... I mean... Mr. Daly and Han... Okay, so Hans, no, there is not a MORAD in that size. MORADs only come in Monster and Monstrous. Let's go here, and we'll take a look, and we can talk about it here for a second, because... Square, yeah, so there's Monster, and then there's... Where's the 4? There's another one that's huge. Where's it? Yeah, Monster and then Monstrous. So there's a 420 and the 360 MORAD. Those are huge. But I think what he's looking for is a 240 next to another 240, which would be this Phobia Extreme Quad 480 560 V2 radiator, which in theory, let me just copy and paste this here, would be like that. Now, again, if you're going to add fans to it or anything like that, you are going to probably run into clearance issues, considering the actual thickness of the radiator. I'm pretty sure it's 45. Oh, even worse, sorry, 49 millimeters thick. So, I mean, you're talking fat boy right there. And you might be better off with just getting exactly what Hans just said. 2 radiators right next to each other. That probably would be a lot better. And especially because I think this one is actually, it shows, like in this photo here, it shows that those are mounting 120 millimeter fans on it, but it's definitely designed for 140 millimeter fans, I'm pretty sure. Because that's what it looks like on the bottom here. Like, those fans on the bottom here look like they're 140 pattern. That would be my guess. But, like I said earlier, you're probably better off with actually getting 2 240 millimeter radiators and putting them next to each other. And especially because they're having they have... Let's go thinner radiators. Let's go dual 120 millimeter radiators. Now, AlphaCool came out with these super thin guys, the ST25s. Unfortunately, we are having an unbelievably hard time getting a hold of these, just because of the manufacturing process and everything like that. There have been people that have pre-ordered these and have been waiting since like August in order to get them. Unfortunately, I have no new ETA on any of these. However, that probably would be ideal for you, especially to make it fit. Because my guess is that, depending on what case you have like a door on it that has like mounting for 4 different fans on it, and you want to fill that in for just a little bit extra cooling. And trust me, I get it. What is the... Calf, I see that you commented the XT240 Ultra Thin Radiator. Who makes that? Just because I want to know. Who was it that made the 200 millimeter radiator? I've seen people use the adapter plate to rack 4 120s. So the... 200 millimeter radiator, I think, was the extremes that we were talking about. Oh, it's XSPC, that's why. Yeah, so XSPC does make that super thin radiator. It's only 20 millimeter thick. I don't know how well it would cool, but it does work. And you're right, yes, XSPC does make that. That's why I couldn't find it. And yeah, well, because most of the XSPC stuff, if I'm not mistaken, is created and made in China, right? Or somewhere near there. Pretty much anything that's created in China or overseas in Asia, or pretty much anything in overseas, is on a delay. Obviously, with the whole shutdown, with the whole pandemic and all of that stuff, everything has been pushed back and delayed because there originally wasn't any air freight for a long time. And I'm not entirely sure that they've opened that back up yet. But basically, you were waiting months to get stuff just for the simple fact that it had to come from overseas. And when it did come from overseas, it had to go via boat. And if you've ever sailed anywhere or taken a boat anywhere, you understand how long that can take, especially when you're crossing one of the oceans, because the oceans are, well, freaking huge. So you're talking like 2-3 months, unfortunately. However, so Daily, who made the 200 millimeter radiator? I know that we do carry a 200 millimeter radiator. However, there is a 200 millimeter. I think that's not 200. Why does this show as a 200? That's weird. The 200 millimeter radiator is the one that's from Alpha Cool, which is an XT45 radiator, 200 mil. But I don't think I've ever seen 4 fans mounted on it, to be perfectly honest with you. I could be wrong. They might have like some adapter plate or something like that to make it actually work. But there is a dual 200 millimeter radiator, which I'm not really sure what case that fits in, to be honest with you. I mean, that seems like a monstrous radiator. More than a monster, really. But again, cases aren't really that wide anymore. So yeah, maybe the SL600. Okay, sure, maybe. But to be honest with you, I don't really know of any other cases that might fit. So, I know I've seen a 200 odd millimeter radiator that was designed to fit the old Corsair C700 or something with those, the Bit Phoenix fans. But it was a very, very long time ago. It fits in mine actually, but only on the top. Yeah, I can imagine. That it just seems like it's so wide. I mean, like even when you run 140 millimeter radiators, I mean they're super wide, and then it's not like it's exactly 140 millimeters wide. There's still sides to it a little bit. So I mean you're talking probably like 155 or something like that, depending on what type of radiator you end up running. So now that's got me curious. So let me see, what is the actual width of an ST30 240 or 280? Radiator type is that, but give me the actual dimensions. I mean, they have them, the 3D model. You can look at the STP file. Cool. I mean, that is neat. That's helpful, but not in this particular case. I want exact measurements. Let's go with just a single 140 and see what it says. That's the old one. That's the monster. Alright, yeah, so let's just do UT60, right? It should theoretically give me the dimensions for it. Yeah, overall dimensions, 186 by, see, it's not 140, it's 144. So it's not exactly 140 millimeters wide, it's a little bit wider than that. So, again, that's something to consider, especially when you're talking about radiators and radiator size and what fits. I know a lot of different manufacturers like Fantex and Thermaltake and Cooler Master say, it'll fit a 3x140 millimeter radiator, and that's kind of total bullshit because it won't actually fit that. It'll fit 3 140 millimeter fans, but like maybe the super tiniest, smallest, thinnest 140 millimeter radiator, sure, maybe. maybe. But to be honest with you, I mean, you gotta definitely double check and make sure that those overall dimensions are going to fit and that you'll actually have room and clearance to put them in, because a lot of the times they don't. We worked in one of the cooler, was it Corsair? It was a 570X. And I forgot what they said. They said something about not being able to mount a radiator in the bottom. And we said, well, that's malarkey. And Brony now chimes in, BIGKevin has some big builds to work on. And he's not wrong, because we have to fix that one that you saw earlier today on the good old Facebooks and stuff like that I showed. And Brony is ready and waiting for me. So that's honestly my cue that I gotta go. But everyone that has joined me today, I really do appreciate you guys being here. If there is anything that I can do for you guys in the next couple days before the next stream, please let me know. I'd be happy to oblige and see what I can do to give you some more updates and information. We'll be working on a couple builds that we're putting together. We got to fix that guy's PC that exploded water everywhere, and we got to work on the AMD Star Wars build. So hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun today, and you enjoyed flying over Niagara Falls. It wasn't terrible. The visibility wasn't great, so maybe we'll do it again another time when it's actually like bright and sunny out and not snowing like a son of a gun. So other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. And like I said, if you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Otherwise, take care, stay safe out there, and we will see you on Friday. See you later.